And we are back for the second round of Dice vs. kaederukaw4.
I will go ahead and drop the seed for them so they can get everything patched up and ready to go. Kaede is in the race time room, but I believe Dice is still getting a drink.
So we should be set to go in a few minutes.
Yep, just a few. That last race was almost so good.
Yeah. That one was actually about the shortest one we've ever had this entire tournament so far.
Yeah, it was definitely, Kaede found that critical route really quickly. And they fought all the bosses, so they weren't making the risky plays. They were going and making all the checks and clearing out everything that they could. Dice was making the risky plays, and it paid off twice. But then he lost the third gamble, and had lost the race because of it. And that's just how randos go sometimes.
Bosses, albeit a rather long check, they are still important in the randomizer. Especially since you can never tell what items they have until you defeat them.
And actually, I think I'll grab a drink myself, so I'll step away and I'll be right back.
Okay. It appears Dice is ready. I'm not sure how ready Kaede is. Because so far it seems like they're practicing and might be unaware that a new seed was sent.
I didn't see dice change. I'll go
Dice
ahead.
did change, see.
Oh, dice change seed. Okay.
Yeah,
Kaede has been
did not.
practicing.
Yeah.
Kaede has readied up on race time.
Okay. Might be that stream was a little behind.
Yeah. Ah, perfect. Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, so in 15 seconds, the racers will start running. Kaede's pronouns are he, him. But yeah, so they're starting in 3 seconds or so. But we won't see that quite yet because we're on a slight stream delay. So this is the second race in a best of 3 between kaederukaw4 and OneSidedDysce. We just saw Kaede take a very commanding lead with a jet seed in the first race. And we are going to see how the runners shake out for the second one. And there's the countdown.
Just in time.
Dice is also he, him.
Yeah, I made a mistake of almost calling Kaede her because I was familiar with that name in another game.
Mm.
But pronouns are always nice to have.
Yeah.
So that
I
way,
believe kaederukaw4
confuse
is a reference to a character in Steins Gate, if I remember correctly. There's a whole storyline about him. Anyway, here we go.
Dice having a little bit of trouble with the first few platforming of the game.
Rukawa also having trouble with the Hercules bench press climb. It looks like Dice had just a little bit less trouble with it. Oh, that was pretty slick for a second part of the climb. I'll need to remember that. But this part is, the same as any other Metroid Fusion speedrun. We just need to get up to the first data room on the command deck.
Hopefully we'll have another morph beginning here.
And it's a missile start, so there are 3 different starts for this operations deck. Yes, thank you very much, Girvos. There are 3 different items you can start with. Missiles is the vanilla start, the very first item that you get in the base game. But there are also 2 different ways to enter the main elevator area, with Morph Ball or with Speed Boost. Speed Boost being the more common out of those 2. Both of them picking up their first E-Tank and picking up Morph Ball. So these 2 runners, very well practiced in the very beginning of the seed. Like I said, this is just Dice missing his chance at getting first shot on the eye door, but he really wants to get that double.
Yeah.
He's hungry for the double, and he got it.
That Wolf Wobble system was nearly identical to the previous one. But in all fairness, it was either in that spot or one other spot entirely where it could have been. And a nice sync between one is acquiring that missile tank.
Look at this! Look at this
sync
sync!
is amazing.
Yes, this is a different scene.
RNG, as far as I'm aware, does not dictate any attack patterns.
And we can tell this is a different scene because Dice is fighting Arachnus this time. And
Ooh.
ice missiles.
Very nice to have, especially since most of them have main missiles.
New seed confirmed. But also, they didn't get a wide beam early on like they did last time.
That too was a major difference. So both runners do have a way of leaving lower 2 with that high jump.
Right, it's not a way that you usually think about it, to get out of lower 2 using ice on those 2 red caterpillars on the wall. I've had to do it a couple times, but it is in the randomizer logic in order to get out of Sector 2. Oh, we have another major at the Morph Ball check.
And it's
Super missiles! Excellent. We've got some big booms going into the early sectors.
Mm-hmm. Will definitely help with eliminating bosses a little bit quicker. Especially the coax in particular.
Yeah, so the missile upgrades in the randomizer add the same amount of damage as they do in the base game. So right now, with Super and Ice, they're both doing 40 damage a missile. And both of them are going Sector 1 this time. We're not seeing the split decisions that Kaede made last time going to 2 early. I suppose with Morph Ball and big missiles, Kaede made the decision to clear out what they can in Sector 1 instead of unlocking blue doors first like they did last time.
Definitely. It definitely, no matter, apart from a speed booster start, a missile start definitely, with Morph Ball, definitely is much more better scouting Sector 1 in almost its entirety.
Well, it certainly makes it easier to scout out Sector 1 early.
Ooh.
Bombs. Ooh.
A great find. This definitely makes Sector 2 a little bit more easier to find more items in. Without having to
so it looks like Sector 1 was the correct play. Personally, I would have gone Sector 2 because you did get these ice missiles. That opens up the cargo jump, and then you can easily unlock blues and get the data room. But with finding Morph Ball bombs in Sector 1 and having those ice missiles to get out of Sector 2, turns out Sector 1 would have been faster this time. Of course, they both made the same decision to go Sector 1 early. Sector 1 first. It's all down to execution right now because they've made the same choices. And yes, your hosts, I believe that energy tank up the very first wall jump.
Oh, it must be.
Ooh,
definitely
aiming
not
has
what you want
been
to find.
disabled. Aiming has been
not what you
disabled
want to find.
Yeah, Dice has elected to skip the lava dive even though they have enough energy. Oh, it's a missile tank. I stand corrected.
Yeah. I was literally just about to answer that. It was just a missile tank, not an E-tank.
So Dice is slightly ahead, but also playing it slightly risky. It is in logic to have damage rules. So, and Lava Dive is a pretty high probability location to find a major item. So I'm not sure why they elected to skip it, but it turned out to be the right call. On accident, I think. Dice making his way up Pirate Climb. Doesn't have... Oh, just grabbed a green X. So he does have ammo for the eye door. That with super missiles and... so Jiggly does make the comment that Dice is maybe saving Lava Dive for when the third item in that area is in Logic. You'll need either Space Jump or Speed Boost in order to get it. I wouldn't want to backtrack just for 2 checks, though, personally. Even less for 1. And, of course, a hard boss.
Very hard. I still don't know why they named this one particular boss Elephant Bird. It's such a weird and very much out there name for one boss.
I think that's a community name for it. I'm not sure, though. It's a Chozo statue. Sort of looks like an elephant bird. And Dice finding high jump. That is a go mode item.
Whoops.
And Kaede right behind Dice. These runners are neck and neck. Prima gave the boss that name. So I suppose it is an unofficial name.
Yeah, it's still technically a fake to Weasel, but it's such a weird name. Like, nothing about that is an elephant at all.
I suppose, was the original name just Large Bird?
Probably. ZP Maniac says that it's probably called Elephant Bird due to a mistranslation. And mistranslations are... they're not.
Oh, it's just Chozo statue? Okay. Yeah, there are plenty of mistranslation and mistranslated kanji throughout Metroid. Varia was literally just supposed to be English barrier, but they translated the kanji just literally, Varia. So I was like, oh, it's the Varia suit. Which is kind of weird because in Fusion, they translated it correctly for the Megacore Barrier Core X. Right, it's barrier. It just uses the Japanese lettering.
Animation.
And wide beams. So now we can
fix the issues. Thankfully, didn't have to suffer for it throughout the rest of the game.
Yeah, Varia, yeah. I prefer Varia as well. Varia just makes it sounds so much cooler. Just sounds so much cooler than just Barrier. I have my own personal idea that Spazer is also similar. This is my own Birdman statue. I see.
Stevie Maniac coming in with some Japanese kanji iterations.
So my headcanon is that the Spazer beam is the Spacer beam, but Spazer sounds cooler. That's my headcanon for Super Metroid. Anyway, so we have both runners unlocking blue doors and finding Gravity Suit. OneSidedDysce apologized by the second seed. And
man, already this quick. It became from a Gravity Hunt to just C to just Power Charge and Plasma Hunt.
Right, so Charge and Plasma aren't really... Speaking of the
coming in a
Varia
little late
suit,
there.
so we still need speed in order to get into lower sector 4. And we still need charge and plasma. But
both of them might need diffusion or space jump and screw attack to leave lower 4.
right, so the quickest way would be either diffusion, just an E-tank for the Sector 2 data room. But it's a check that you just sort of have to hope is something good.
Yeah.
So yes, either diffusion will get you out of lower sector 4. Right now, because they have wave, ice beam will get you out of lower sector 4. And screw attack will get you out of lower sector 4. You don't even really need space jump. You can do, I call it the half secret message. In the base game, there's a secret way, or a intended difficult way to get out of lower sector 4 by carrying a shine spark charge up through the way that you came in. That will get you a secret message from Adam and one of the backers at the Federation. And it is quite difficult. You do need space jump in order to do that. Here we have a routing difference finally. We have a routing difference. Kaede is getting out of Sector 2 before going to Lower 2, and OneSidedDysce is diving deep into Sector 2 to check everything at the bottom. So this is where the race may be decided in this decision.
In all
Just a
fairness,
power bomb.
Kaede could have went to the other way to lower sector 2 to check a bit more. But leaving 2 is probably much better since you have options between sectors 4 and 3 to explore. Especially with gravity suit, it makes sector 4 that much easier to explore without having the water be in the way.
Charge beam in lower 2. Oh, Dice has made the correct decision.
So far, lower 2 has been in Dice's favor. So now we know Charge Beam is in there. But Kaede still has no idea if there's anything possibly awaiting him in the races. I almost just mispronounced him again.
So, Servant of Testator. The 3... Oh, there's a way out of lower sector 4. Dice is just looking for plasma right now. That's the only... Or plasma and speed booster. Speed booster. So I count 8 or 9 items that you need. The ones given to you in game is charge beam, plasma. Those are the 2 beams that you need. You also need missiles as an explicit exit condition. But you also need to unlock level 4 locks down in lower sector 4. And that's a little bit more difficult than just being told, yeah, these are the stuff that you need. So to get into lower sector 4, you need gravity suit and speed booster. But then to unlock the sector 4 doors, you need morph ball and either morph ball bombs or screw attack to get down into the lock room. And then to get out, you need either diffusion missiles, wave plus ice, or screw attack. And even with just screw attack, you can get out through the sector 2, sector 4 exit. So you don't even need to do any sort of speed booster strats to get out. And here we have Kaede deciding to go up to Ceres, seeing if they can strike gold again twice in a row. We're still looking for speed booster here, and we don't know where plasma is either.
entirely fair. Speed could possibly be vanilla, so going here does make logical sense, especially with gravity, since you are unaffected by both water and the room, well, Zeus's bones are, and in Zeus's room itself.
Dice, realizing they have the fusion to make one last check in Sector 4, and Kaede finding Ceres. Let's see what Ceres has.
Now, in all fairness, one could make one more additional check in Lower 4, just as long as they time their diffuser missile just right to freeze the cargo before an X-Parasite goes into it.
True.
They would have to quickly make their way back through before the cargo refreezes, though.
That's true. They can make that check if they just have gravity and speed mode. And it's an empty check at Ceres. Oh, and Dice elected to not fight Zazabi when he was in Lower 2 either. So Zazabi could have plasma.
He would be, could.
So, Scotty, let me pull up the schedule. So, Scotty is playing tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, and I will be commentating that with Herc.
And I'm basically a detractor for that one. So thankfully you don't have to hear me talk for the rest of the day.
And everyone breathes a sigh of relief. So we have Kaede leaving Sector 4. He has not made all the checks quite yet. Oh. Did he not check the speed check?
He doesn't
on the way out?
They don't have speed.
Oh, they don't have speed. That's right.
Dice deciding not to make the same mistake as the first seed and going ahead to fight Ceres.
Now, usually you do need speed to get out of the Ceres room, but if you have gravity suit, you can leave the front way.
Mm-hmm. It is definitely much more fast than just trying to wall jump out of there for a desperate amount of time.
I will add, I just realized there is an unnamed requirement for finishing the game right now, and that's either having high jump or space jump. The SAX won't spawn if you don't have high jump or space jump, even if you can make it up to the trigger with red doors open and everything needed to kill the SIX. So Kaede going into Deep 2 because he didn't check it earlier.
And soon getting
Kaede finding charge. So I'm guessing Kaede is about to go fight Zazabi, and we will see if Zazabi has anything necessary.
After that, there's not much they can really do beyond going to 3 and unlocking level 2.
But they can't. They don't have speed. There's one check. There's a single check that they can make in Sector 3 that could be speed. And it's looking more and more likely that it is, in fact, Speed Booster.
Hello again. So yeah,
I think my favorite beam is single plasma, just the straight green laser. Dice deciding to just reset because you can get out of Sector 4 with ice. usually you need speed boost. But with just ice, you can freeze that crab and use it as a platform in order to... There's diffusion for Kaede. I'm sure Kaede is regretting a little bit going to Sector 4 before Lower 2 now. But we will now see what Zazabi has.
Dice going into Sector 3 in the meanwhile. Okay, as much as I would love to talk about Pikmin, this is not the game. That is not the game we are currently commentating right now.
Kaede just picked up a charge. Yes, we should. I would mark it on the tracker, but the beams aren't being tracked. So... And here's the only item in 3 that can be checked. And what do you know? It's speed.
Dice definitely making the right check.
Yeah, Dice is definitely in the lead right now. And Zazabi is just a E-tank. So now Dice can open up green locks, level 2 locks, and can make his way to the level 4 locks. So right now, beams are totally random. They are not progressive. You can have any combination of beams. You can have solo wave beam, which is terrible.
It is a pain.
You cannot hit anything with it. Oh, Nimono, you missed one in this this tournament. First beam found was solo plasma, and it absolutely just rips straight through Arachnus. It's great to watch. It's so good. Dice with the level 2 locks. We'll see where he goes next. Dice deciding to go deeper into Sector 3. Or he's deciding. You can see the gears grinding. And he's leaving. He's decided to come back later. He's realized, oh, you know what? I have everything I need for those level 4 locks. I'm gonna head straight there. And yes, it is possible. Kaede is heading back to Sector 4 for that diffusion check. Well, so... Linkshot is absolutely correct. You need 1, but you need level 1 locks. Without level 1 locks, there's no way to get into Sector 3. But if you get Screw Attack, you can get into Sector 5, and then you can unlock level 4 locks without unlocking level 2 or level 3. In fact, there is an option to uncouple the lock levels. Right now, we are playing on the coupled, not split security levels. So once Dice unlocks level 4 locks, the level 3 locks will also be unlocked. But you can decouple that with a command line option when you generate a seed.
Dice is designed to check out Sector 5.
Just a couple of checks. Just a couple of checks on his way to red locks, I'm sure. Or just a single check.
Possibly. Kaede on his way to Sector 3 to unlock number 2 doors.
Well, so Kaede is going to find his speed booster. Dice missing the mini fridge. So that is an orphan check so far. That it could have plasma. Any of these checks can have plasma. Kaede finding speed.
Dice deciding to check, not to check the worst room in the game.
Yeah, it is a really bad room.
Ah, those Evers. The one tough enemy to kill in this game, unless you have plasma.
Yeah, those Dragon babies are... I don't like them. They're probably my least favorite enemy. Kai unlocking his green doors. Oh, eventually. Making the check underneath the floor first. And there's the level 4 security hatches unlocked for Dice. Now it is just a straight plasma hunt. Once Dice finds plasma, it's game for him.
I don't know, not authorized time to get this.
Well, so let's see what Kaede decides. Oh, Kaede decides to just to bounce. Immediately going for red doors as well.
Yeah, just there may not be anything worth checking in Sector 3 that may possibly waste time.
Exactly, and there are plenty of checks on the way to red doors that could have plasma. In fact, I found plasma on the way to reds multiple times.
One time,
usually, yeah. I think that
it's possible
Okay,
that plasma may be on the way out of lower 4 as well.
True. Of course, both runners have made most of the lower 4 checks. It's only missing the power bomb check, and they don't have power bombs, and the speed check. Kaede checking the rooms that have been claimed by Autumn out of habit. Halfway out of jest. But let's see if there are just a missile so far. Oh. And yes, ice beam.
Oh, that is plasma.
There's plasma. There's oh no, not again.
Oh no.
Oh, Dice so far in the lead.
Dice failing to get the upper wounds definitely costed him again.
Yeah.
Although Dice still does not know. To him,
Dice was
plasma
so
could still
far
be anywhere.
ahead.
You hate to see it.
Kaede is now in go mode. Kaede just needs to unlock level 4 doors and then head to the SIX. That's painful to watch.
Amazing, because we're making this 0-2 match in quite a while. We've mostly had 1-1 matches so far. Some matches still waiting a tiebreaker to hold it up. So this actually gives us a nice change of pace.
But with this, both races could have gone to Dice. Both races could have gone to Dice. But Dice just makes the gamble, makes the executive decision. This check might take a little bit too long, and plasma or speed. Unfortunately, we can't change. Yeah, you know what? We'll just listen to Dice. Dice might not beat the SAX first, but at least you can hear us talk about it. Unfortunately, I don't have any direct control over the volume. You can just change who to listen to. So both of these matches could have gone to Dice, but Dice just making the executive gambles to skip checks that he thought would take too long. He skipped Ceres and he missed out on Gravity Suit the first race. and he skipped the upper 5 speed check here because he was like, I don't want to mess with these floating spitting things, I guess. I don't know what they're called. He didn't want to freeze them, he didn't want to climb up, and he missed out on 2 juicy checks, one of which had plasma. That's unfortunate for Dice. Dice finding a major in lower 3. There's Screw Attack. Screw Attack probably opens up the most checks for a single major in the game. Unfortunately, this will lead him in a lot of directions, and all of them will be wrong. Kaede reaching main deck on his way to finish off the game.
Oh, wait a second. I'm just gonna do a quick audio check to see if this affects something.
Okay.
Someone asked if I could turn on the audio, so I'm just trying to make sure that people can.
It's still a bit hot for Kaede. Still a bit hot for Kaede. Much better. Much better.
There we go.
Of course, now we get the SAX boss fight theme, which isn't exactly the quietest music in the game. Now, Kaede doesn't have Screw Attack, so Kaede will take damage from those ice beams. Luckily, both of them have Varia suit, so they won't get frozen. That's phase 1.
Well, it's mostly just that kind of game levels out of what we expected.
Ooh, Kaede getting sniped and accidentally unlocking the Ice Core X. Ooh, 38 health.
I would grab those. I would grab those yellow X. Oh, but managed to still get it regardless. That was close. That was close.
Playing a little bit close to the. Oh.
Man.
Propulsion sequence activated. Destination planet Netar 388.
That was definitely quite a close call.
I see where I could change the volume. I could have changed that. Oh well.
Now you know.
There's
now
a button that says adjust volume. I see.
And now you know.
Yeah, another. Well, this isn't so jetty. I mean, it's a fast seat, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But there have been 25, 26, 27-minute jet seeds that have been posted to Discord that are super quick.
What is the longest seed? Usually ones that take up to like an hour and a half or 2 hours.
Right, and that's even when you play it correctly. I suppose the correct answer is the longest siege is the one that you make the longest.
Yeah. There's no right or wrong answers on that front.
So there are a few bugs in the randomizer logic that do produce unbeatable seeds. One of the bugs is there's a check underneath box in Sector 3 that requires super missiles. You can get there with screw attack. So if you use the screw attack entry from Sector 1, you can get the item there. But you might not be able to get out unless you have space jump. That is before unlocking level 2 blocks. So you can have your progression item there. I've had that a couple times. And then there's the other one, the other big one at least, is the Ripper Tower in... and Kaede with the 3848. I should mention that right now. Kaede going 2-0 against Dice and absolutely messing up my bracket. Good job, Kaede.
Hello. I don't know.
So-
I don't know this game. Yeah, go ahead. So.
You were a good 5 minutes behind Dice, maybe even longer, but then Dice skipped the checks that led to Plasma Beam, and he's been looking for Plasma ever since.
Yeah, so if you go for red doors and you don't check that, you are going to go like 20 minutes later.
Yep, he's not going to have a good time again when he realizes, oh, that one check that I skipped, that I said, oh, it's gonna take too long. Oh, I feel for Dice. See, he was very much in the lead, and then he just made another wrong decision. But I was still a great run from you, Kaede.
I was
congrats on
wrong
that.
too at the beginning, going to Sector 4. I expected Speed Booster to be there, but it wasn't. So it happened.
So did Dice, but Dice went into lower 2 before you did, and got diffusion and charge. So he was able to check the pupper check in Sector 4, whereas you doubled back to Sector 4 after going to Sector 2, for instance. So that was a little bit of the time loss between you two.
I was scared of that check. It could
Right.
it could have been Speed Booster and then something behind. In that same place.
Yeah, it's rough when Speed Booster is the single check in Sector 3, and Dice is
decided
just
to forfeit.
forfeited.
Well, that certainly was something.
Well,
But GG's.
welcome to the room,
nonetheless.
Dice.
Thank you.
Hello,
you were-
Jace. I don't know how much
You were
to
so
say.
Dice.
close, man.
Dice, you were in the lead for the entire race until you accidentally skipped Plasma Beam.
I hate to ask, but where was it?
Upper Sector 5 in the Speed
First-
Booster rooms.
First
Oh my
check,
goodness. You know what's really funny about that is I missed once I missed that wall jump onto the guy, I said, okay, forget it. It's probably not there. And I went to red doors.
Exactly, yeah. You made the executive call
Yeah.
of it'll take too long to double back and get these 2 checks. And I totally understand that line of thinking, but it's just so unfortunate that not once, but twice, both races, you said it'll take too long to get this check, which just happened to be your progression.
Definitely.
Well, at least I'm not out of the tournament.
Yeah. we
Right,
still have
this
one
is
more
double
chance.
elimination. So both of these runners will be moving forward. Kaede, as I was mentioning when he joined the room, absolutely messed up my my prediction bracket.
No problem, you're welcome, mate.
Well, according to the predictions, this is what, the first upset?
Give me a moment. So yes, this is the first upset that has finished. Of course, French Lightning John did take a game off of me earlier, so we will be doing our tiebreak, and we can only see what happens with that. But Kaede will be, let's be honest, Kaede will be going up against Friday. Sorry, Big Ohm.
That's gonna
if Big Ohm
be
takes,
wow.
if Big Ohm
Impossible.
takes the upset, that will be huge. But yeah, so Friday versus Big Ohm. The winner of that will be going up against Kaede. And
I have big monsters here. I have. Oh no. Hercules is much lower.
Dice,
Never mind.
you'll be going up against the loser of 18, which is
Big Omer Friday.
Big Ohm or Friday. So you'll be going up against Big Ohm. Let's be real here.
Either way, my confidence has been shaken this time.
Yeah,
I know the feeling very well.
you still give it a try regardless, and your efforts aren't in vain.
Yeah.
Well, this is the first time I've done a tournament or an official race like this, so there were a lot of nerves involved too.
Yeah, it's trying to think under pressure is definitely very different than just doing seeds on your own time very casually, or even with casual races, because you're sitting in a chat room, you're having a lot of fun with a bunch of friends. It's a very different environment when you're racing in a tournament.
Definitely.
And one funny thing that happened, I don't know if you guys noticed me stop for like 10 seconds after getting Speed Booster.
We saw the gears grinding. We were like, he's thinking.
I thought I was in go mode.
You were almost in go mode. But you still went, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and get those red locks. I'll make the checks on the way. If Plasma's on the way, great. And
it was on the way.
It was. He just didn't pick it up on the way. And that's just what happens with Rando sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So, finishing this one up, right now we have Mini Johns versus Kazuto, which just started on SpeedGaming 4. Later tonight on this channel, at 9 p.m. Eastern, will be the tiebreaker of Automatic Habit and C. Scotty W. I'll be commentating that with Hercules Bench Press.
And I'm just a tracker.
Yeah, and you'll be watching.
Thankfully. I can rest my voice.
So I think that covers it for this race. Is there any closing thoughts that anyone wants to have?
I just wanted to say, good game, good races. Hopefully I'll see you in the winner's bracket.
Yeah, good games to you too. And shoutouts to all the commentators today, because I'm surprised that you pronounce well my nickname. I pronounced it in Spanish, so it's Kaede, just like that.
Ah, I see.
So that's why I'm surprised. Anyways, thank you.
Kaederukaw4 is, it's a Japanese name that's used in a lot of Japanese manga and anime material.
Yes.
The Kaede that I think it's Kaederukaw4. I want to look that up right now from Steins Gate.
No, it's from
Right, so yours is it's a different Kaede. It's a Kurushima from Steins Gate. But they refer to him as Kaede. Anyway,
Huge shout out to SpeedGaming, by the way.
Yeah. So the next run on this channel starts at 9 p.m. Eastern. Right now on SpeedGaming 4 is Mini Johns versus Kazuto 88. Kaz is the main developer of this randomizer, and Mini Johns is just an excellent runner. So we'll probably raid that when we finished, and I think that'll cover it.
Yeah. See you later.
Once again, thank you to the runners. Thank you to SpeedGaming for hosting this restream, and I will be seeing everyone later for Autumn versus Scotty. So, see everyone later.
See you next mission.
Bye bye.